Body camera footage. A man stands near the Walk of Champions at the University of Alabama, hands shaking, repeating the same 6 words to an officer. "My baby mama dead, man." Behind him, a black Jeep sits with its passenger window shattered. Inside, 23-year-old Jamea Harris. She will never see her 5-year-old son again. This is the case file of Jamea Harris and the 2 young men, one of them a rising college basketball star's teammate, who investigators say brought a gun to a fight that was never theirs. Welcome to Crime Beyond the Shadows. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on the bell. This is the case of Jamea Harris. January 15th, 2023, a Saturday night. The University of Alabama's basketball team had just beaten LSU at home. The Strip, Tuscaloosa's stretch of bars and late-night restaurants near campus, was full.
With breaking news.
That breaking news, the family of Jamea Harris now suing former Tide star and NBA first-round pick Brandon Miller and 2 other men.
Court documents show Miller, Michael Davis, and Darius Miles are named in a wrongful death suit. The family's attorneys say they plan to prove the defendant's actions either caused or contributed to the death of their daughter. Harris was shot and killed in Tuscaloosa on January the 15th. The complaint says Miles left a gun in Miller's car and later texted Miller to bring it to him. It goes on to say Miles got the gun out of the car and that Davis fired the shot that killed Harris. Her family in a statement today said Jamea was taken from our family, her friends, and her son Kane by a senseless act of gun violence. For those who are mourning her loss with us, we thank you for the light of love and support you have shown our family during these difficult times. Now, we did reach out to the attorneys who represent Miller, Miles, and Davis. We did get a statement from Davis's attorney who tells us that Michael will take action to defend himself against that lawsuit.
Jamea Harris was there with her boyfriend, Cedric Johnson, and her cousin, a student at the university. According to her mother, DeCarla Hurd, she was simply trying to enjoy her weekend. Somewhere in that crowd, a verbal altercation broke out between Cedric Johnson and 2 young men, Darius Miles, a reserve forward on Alabama's basketball team, and his childhood friend, Michael Lynn Davis. Witnesses say the exchange ended. Everyone walked away. It should have ended there. Just after 1 a.m., Darius Miles sent a text message to his teammate, Brandon Miller, at the time a freshman phenom, now a Charlotte Hornets forward. The message asked Miller to bring him his gun. Miller arrived at 1:43 a.m. According to his own testimony, he had no idea what the gun in his back seat was going to be used for. Miles and Davis retrieved the weapon. Minutes later, Davis approached the driver's side of Harris's Jeep, where Cedric Johnson was now seated. Gunfire broke out between the 2 men. One bullet did not hit Cedric Johnson. It hit Jamea Harris, sitting beside him in the passenger seat. Ask yourself this: at what point does bringing a gun back into an already resolved argument stop being a mistake and start being a decision? Tell me what you think in the comments. DeCarla Hurd was at home that morning when a Birmingham police officer knocked on her door and told her to call Tuscaloosa police. What came next, she has said, broke her. "I remember just screaming and falling to the floor."
And I'm going home to her baby right now, and I'm going to hug him tight. And I'm going to take him to see his mother in Montgomery. And we are going to spend Mother's Day at her grave. That's what we're going to do this week.
And my only child, I lost her to gun violence, but today justice was served. Is 1 down and 1 more to go.
Yeah, I would imagine that you guys are preparing now for the trial for Darius Miles as well, which is equally important.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say this day is a first step in justice for Jamea?
It is. It's some relief, but not totally everything, because I don't have my daughter anymore.
It can go any way but guilty. I mean, it was all on tape. You know, we just, you know, my thing, I just want to thank Paula Whitley. She did an amazing job. She laid it out. She put the facts out. She did an amazing job, and I am forever grateful to Paula Whitley. In the district attorney's office, everybody who worked on this, Brandon Culpepper with the Violent Crimes Unit, Tuscaloosa Police Department, I want to say thank you. They have made my Mother's Day. It's great. It's a great day.
Somewhere across town, Jamea's 5-year-old son, Kaine, was waiting to find out where his mother had gone. Heard would later sit him down and tell him his mommy had become an angel. He responded by closing his eyes and asking softly, "So Mama's an angel now?" Within days, Tuscaloosa police charged both Darius Miles and Michael Lynn Davis with capital murder.
A college basketball star weeps as he's taken to jail, charged with murder. It's raw emotion as the University of Alabama's Darius Miles shouts to his mom.
I swear. More than you imagine.
The 21-year-old star is charged with fatally shooting a 23-year-old woman, Jamea Harris, near the university campus. Darius Miles allegedly tried to flirt with the victim as she sat in a parked car with her boyfriend and a cousin. One eyewitness says when she refused to talk to him, he persisted, telling her, "Don't you know who I am?" Then things turned ugly and a gun battle erupted. A Ring camera captured the chilling sound of gunfire and 2 bystanders fleeing for their lives. I spoke with the victim's mom, who said she still hasn't broken the news to her daughter's 5-year-old child.
I know at some point he's going to want to know where his mom is. And when that time comes, I just don't know how I explain it.
Crimson Tide basketball coach Nate Oates says the whole team is grieving.
I've got 3 daughters. Went through my mind how easily could have been one of mine. Tough situation. I've talked to Darius's mother multiple times yesterday. Very hard situation on both accounts.
But the victim's mom says she's outraged by the accused killer's display of emotion.
More than you imagine.
It just enraged me that he could cry to his mother after he took another person's life.
Darius Miles' attorney says his client maintains his innocence and looks forward to his day in court.
Under Alabama law, shooting into a vehicle occupied by a victim automatically elevates a homicide to a capital offense, meaning both men, if convicted, face the possibility of life without parole. Miles was immediately removed from the Alabama basketball team. Davis, from Charles County, Maryland, was taken into custody alongside.
Also breaking right now, a trial date just set for former Alabama basketball player Darius Miles.
And Miles is charged with capital murder in connection to the shooting that killed Birmingham mother Jamea Harris back in 2023 in Tuscaloosa. And we've just learned that the trial date is set for December 1st for Darius Miles. The former Alabama basketball player's attorney, Mary Turner, believes, unlike the trial for his co-defendant, Michael Davis, this trial could last at least 2 weeks. The state, though, hasn't said how long they expect it to take. ABC 3340's Mary Barron has the details.
I don't expect it to take any less than a week. After that, it's no way to tell.
Darius Miles is now set to come before a Tuscaloosa County jury starting the 1st of December. The former Alabama basketball player is facing capital murder charges in connection to the shooting death of Jamea Harris near the University of Alabama campus back in 2023. Miles, however, has pleaded not guilty, claiming self-defense, but a judge previously denied his request to dismiss the case. The co-defendant, Michael Lynn Davis, was found guilty of capital murder back in May. The family of Jamea Harris, who was a Birmingham mother, says the guilty verdict for Davis is the first step towards justice.
We have justice. We have faith in the Tuscaloosa District Attorney's Office, the work that they're doing with the Tuscaloosa Police Department. And we're halfway there. We're one down. We still have one more trial to get through.
I asked how the state is preparing for trial and if this case will be tried similar to the co-defendant.
Oh, I'm sure it will be different. We have a lot of information, and I'm sure we'll explore every avenue.
Tuscaloosa County Assistant District Attorney Paula Whitley tells me the defense has until August 15th to accept their plea deal. This will be the same deal offered to Michael Davis, to which he denied.
And that was Mary Barron reporting. Along with the victim's family, the parents of Darius Miles were also in court, along with his girlfriend, Skylar. Now, Skylar is a key witness in this case and was present the night in question. When Miles was being escorted out of the courtroom, you could hear his dad tell him, "I love you."
Brandon Miller was never charged. He was named in a wrongful death lawsuit, later dismissed, but police have consistently said he is not a suspect. That distinction became one of the most contentious parts of this entire case. While Miles sat in jail, Brandon Miller kept playing and kept scoring. Head coach Nate Oates defended his decision to let Miller remain on the court, calling him mentally tough amid what Oates described as a distraction. For Jamea Harris's family, that word, distraction, cut deep. He brought a gun to where a person was murdered, and he did nothing wrong? DeCarla Hurd told reporters. This season is stained in the blood of Jamea Harris, and it's not ever washing out. Her husband, Kelvin Hurd, put it even more plainly. There was only one person in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was Jamea. If you were the parent of a coach whose star player was tied to a case like this, what would you have done differently? Let me know below.
I never lose sight of the fact a family has lost one of their loved ones that night. This whole situation is just really heartbreaking. But respectfully, that's all I'm going to be able to say about on that.
More than 2 years passed before the case reached a jury. In May 2025, Michael Lynn Davis stood trial for capital murder. Prosecutors described the shooting as a cold-blooded ambush, Davis firing indiscriminately into a Jeep occupied by 3 people, one of them Harris's own cousin, Asia Humphrey, seated in the back. The state had already removed the death penalty from consideration. That meant one outcome, if the jury convicted, life without parole. They deliberated for about an hour. Guilty. Judge Daniel F. Pruitt sentenced Davis on the spot. DeCarla Hurd, present in the courtroom every day of the trial, called the verdict overwhelming. I don't think there is a word for how I feel right now. Darius Miles was scheduled to face his own capital murder trial on December 1st, 2025, accused of providing the gun that killed Jamea Harris. He has pleaded not guilty, claiming self-defense.
Well, guy Darius Miles' text to Brandon Miller to bring him his gun was brought up, plus a clip recorded from Miller's dash cam moments before the shooting was also played for the judge. And an investigator also pointed out that player Jaden Bradley was at the scene. Well, Miles is accused of providing the gun used to kill Jamea Harris on January 15th. During today's hearing, his attorneys played several videos leading up to the gunfire. One clip showed Miles interacting with the Jeep that Harris was riding in. Miles has said that he saw Harris hand her boyfriend a gun. Moments later, Miles texted Miller to bring him Miles' pistol. Now, this was the third and final day of Miles' immunity hearing, where he's been trying to convince the judge he was trying to protect himself. During cross-examination of an investigator, prosecutors revisited Miles' 6-hour interview the day of his arrest. District Attorney Hayes Webb asked, did he ever say he felt threatened? Investigator Jeff Miller answered, no. Hayes followed up by asking, did he ever say he acted in self-defense? Miller replied, no. Well, Judge Daniel Pruitt is not expected to rule on Miles' immunity request for a few more days. Co-defendant Michael Davis will have his own immunity hearing on December the 12th. Lisa.
But weeks before that trial date, his defense attorney accused the presiding judge, the same judge who oversaw Davis's conviction, of bias. When the judge refused to step aside, Miles's team escalated the fight to Alabama's Court of Criminal Appeals. The trial court granted a stay. All proceedings froze. As of now, there is no new trial date. Darius Miles remains in custody without bond, waiting, like Jamea Harris's family, for an appellate court to decide whether his case will move forward.
Now to the murder of a young mother in Tuscaloosa and hearing from her family left behind.
Jamea Harris was shot to death January 15th. Michael Davis and former Alabama basketball player Darius Miles are charged with capital murder in this case.
The pain is unending for Harris's family, especially her mother. She talked with Brian Henry today.
Well, Brian, just a heartbreaking story.
Well, Morgan and Sarah, it is here on Gray Street where Jamea Harris's life of only 23 years came to a very sad end. Harris was DeCarla Hurd's youngest child. She was born in Montgomery but raised in Birmingham. She was also a mother herself to 5-year-old Kane Johnson. We all know now 2 people have been arrested in connection to Jamea Harris's murder, both charged with capital murder. DeCarla Hurd says the pain of losing her baby never stops and never will. Hurd says the most painful part of her journey so far is having to tell little Kane Johnson the sad truth.
I waited till nobody was here and we were alone in the house. And I sat him down and I said, baby, mama's not coming back. She's not coming home. She was hurt really bad. And they weren't able to save her. So mommy's an angel now. We refer to her as an angel. And I said, mommy's an angel in heaven now, but she'll always be with you. So, you know, and I just hugged him and I just squeezed him. He cried a little bit. And he just kind of laid his head back and he closed his eyes. And he was like, my mommy an angel now? And I was like, your mommy's an angel now. Every day she was full of energy, full of life. I mean, Jamea was everybody's best friend. When she was a little girl, she was everybody's best friend. Everybody wanted to be Jamea's friend.
DeCarla Hurd says her daughter had just turned 23 years old the month before she passed away. Her final resting place is in Montgomery. Morgan, Sarah?
And Brian, just so heartbreaking to hear her mother sharing how she had to pass that news along to the little boy Kane. I understand you also spoke with Harris's stepfather today.
That's right, the stepfather, that is Kelvin Hurd. He talked obviously very fondly about Jamea, and he specifically remembers the fact that she extended a very loving, very warm welcome to him when he joined the family just not too many years ago. He too is distraught, and we'll hear from him tonight at 6. In Tuscaloosa, Brian Henry, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
The co-defendant, Michael Lynn Davis, was found guilty of capital murder back in May. The family of Jamea Harris, who was a Birmingham mother, says the guilty verdict for Davis is the first step towards justice.
At all. One man already sentenced to life, one case suspended in legal limbo, and a 5-year-old boy who will grow up asking questions his family still doesn't have all the answers to. If justice for one defendant has already been delivered, what does justice look like for the second, especially when the case itself is frozen? Tell me what you think in the comments. Jamea Harris was 23 years old, a daughter, a mother, described by everyone who knew her as high-spirited, humble, and full of life. She died because a resolved argument on a college strip somehow ended with a gun back in the mix. If you have thoughts on how this case should end for Darius Miles, I want to hear them below. The truth will always come to light. Crime beyond the shadows.